Hey everybody, it's Jeremy from SV Squared Circle. On behalf of everybody here at the Sports Vision, we would like to send our condolences to the family of the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. For those who aren't aware, Dusty Rhodes unfortunately died this past Thursday as a result of a fall that led to complications involving kidney failure. Dusty was one of the most popular wrestlers around throughout the 1970s and 1980s, and he also continued to be involved in wrestling for the remainder of his life. From a big fan like myself, Dusty was always a positive spirit, and it was clear when watching him compete. Being born in the early 1990s, most of my memories of him come from his earlier shows that I got to watch on DVDs, but he always made you feel like you were watching him live. From the bottom of all of our hearts, we love you, Dusty, and we're going to miss you. Rest in peace. This episode is dedicated to the life of the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Thank you. It is also worth noting that this episode was recorded the day before Dusty's unfortunate passing, which is why we will also be dedicating next week's episode of SV Squared Circle to Dusty Rhodes. Thank you, Dusty. You were taken from us way too soon. Rest in peace. Talking pro wrestling, it's Jeremy Cook and Anthony Mosca with SV Squared Circle here at the Sports Vision. That's right, we are here for the third week in a row. Welcome to SV Squared Circle Episode 3. I am Jeremy Cook, and I am joined as always by my co-host from the Great White North, Anthony Mosca. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm looking outside my window right now. It's pouring outside. It's so cloudy. Other than that, I'm good. How about you, Jeremy?
Oh, weather's pretty good here, but we got a lot to get to in this show. Before we do that, Parkway Drive, Dark Days off of their album Atlas, available on iTunes, Google Play, or Amazon. In addition to that, they just announced their next upcoming album called Ire, be out September 25th. It's a long ways away, but it's worth it. They released one of their songs off of it called Vice Script. It's available on iTunes. I highly recommend it. It's a new Parkway, but it's a very good Parkway. It's something that every fan should be happy to see. So we got a lot to talk about. As I said earlier, it is our pay-per-view prediction show for Money in the Bank. Before we do that, we're going to try to get some other things in there. Some news that maybe you didn't hear about, maybe you want us to talk about. First thing on that list, CM Punk and Hulk Hogan have been going at this for a little while now. Anthony, why don't you just tell everybody what's going on?
I can't really tell what's going on. It looks like Hogan is just mad at Punk for whatever reason may be. I'm going to read you the tweet very quickly.
Slight backstory before you start. Sorry to cut you off. This is stemming from the Tampa Bay Lightning Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup Final. Everyone knows Punk's an avid Blackhawk fan. Hulk Hogan, for some reason, adopted the Tampa Bay Lightning, and this is where this all starts from.
Yes. The tweet Hogan first sent out to CM Punk reads, "Like I said, the Blackhawks are in a whole lot of trouble," which they kind of are. "They should take their puck and go home." In quotations, Punk. "CM, can you show them the way, brother?" That was Hogan's tweet to CM Punk. Punk retaliated with, "You mispronounced the team captain's name and didn't even know the coach's name. You're a hack. Please, in a PG way, shut up, or I'll wreck you." At Hulk Hogan. What's your take on this, Jeremy? This seems like a lot of beef happening right now.
Well, there's not really that many ways to take this. The way that I see this, Hulk Hogan is... this all falls on him. Look, CM Punk did nothing but retaliate, and you know a guy like CM Punk, who's some of his better moments in WWE are microphone moments, the pipe bomb being one of them. Now, I don't get what Hogan's thinking. He's gone, he's in UFC, just let the man enjoy what he's enjoying. He's a Blackhawks fan. You are not a Lightning fan by any stretch of the imagination. You can't get their captain right. You can't even get their freaking coach right. Seriously, Hogan, you are a has-been. And if it wasn't for Andre the Giant, and for lack of a better term, a bigger boom in wrestling, you would be a never was. I'm comfortable in saying that because CM Punk can out-wrestle you, he can out-microphone you, He can just do everything better. His fan base is more loyal than yours is because he respects what he's done. You, on the other hand, have done things like this. Why are you aligning yourself with a sport that you barely even watch?
I was just about to ask you that. Since you know a lot more of hockey than I do, I was going to throw this out there. I know from watching old CM Punk videos on YouTube or people caught with their cameras, I know CM Punk has always been a Blackhawks fan. He always goes to their games. He watches as much of it in person, front row, as he can with his lovely wife, AJ Lee, which
you
we
had
all
to
miss.
mention her because we all miss her.
We all miss
Brother.
her. You know more about hockey than I do. Does Hogan even, not that it doesn't even follow it, we know Punk expresses his love to the Blackhawks. Has Hogan ever done so to any team in hockey for him to go
Never.
out there and bash CM Punk?
Never. Hogan and sports that aren't wrestling go together like water and oil. It is something that seems like a forced marriage, and it was facilitated by Hogan because, let's just face it, Hogan is not the same wrestler he once was, and he's not the same person he once was. He is definitely loyal to the WWE because of how much he's done for them, how much they've done for him. He may have taken it personally when CM Punk dishonored, or disrespected, I should say, the contract that he had signed and left. Now, I'm not going to get into that end of it, but I think something like this has to have a ripple effect, and that may have come in this tweet because, the Blackhawks themselves have won 2 Stanley Cups over the last, 4 or 5 years, and they've been down 2-1 before, and they've won a series. Blackhawks were favored coming into this series. So, I feel like if Hogan didn't have this to say anything about Punk, he still would have said something about Punk. I love Punk's response because it's very Punk, it's very genuine, and you know that he means it. Hogan just seemed very fake in this entire thing. But I want to kind of end that right there just because, I'm getting like a bad taste in my mouth because this is a side of Hogan that no one wants to see, and, we've all sort of known exists in the sense that, he's not exactly, the most mature when it comes to certain things.
In Punk's tweet, he does write at the very, very end, besides the "you're a hack," shut the up.
Yeah, so,
or I'll wreck you. That right there shows that CM Punk, he just wants to be left alone.
He won't take anything from anybody. That also shows me. He's saying, if you really want this to happen, first off, he's a UFC fighter now. This isn't kayfabe anymore, Hogan.
Yeah, he's a UFC fighter. He just wants to be left alone. He wants to do his own thing. Don't tweet him, especially if it's about WWE. Just leave him alone.
Absolutely. We're going to move on here to a segment we like to call Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down. Each week, we're going to pick something, usually going to be each of us. This time, we happen to agree on this. 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. Anthony, what is our thumbs up for this week?
Thumbs up of this week goes to Chris Heroes for doing probably one of the nicest things I've seen.
Is it Hero or Heroes? I'm not sure.
Might be Chris Heroes. Hero. I'll check that out very quickly, just because I don't want to be the guy that named it wrong. But
don't worry. The point is, we
Chris Hero this week.
Notch one for me. No gong.
Chris Hero wrestled 3 hours consecutively in a total of 17 matches to raise $3,440 for the ALS research. So kudos to him. He did a great job. Round of applause for me, at least.
I'm going to give him a gong. I'm going to one-up you there because I need to get a positivity button, and we haven't made one yet. So here we go.
Also, may I add a second thumbs up, which is going to catch you off guard?
Yeah, because we didn't talk about this, but go ahead.
The return, since this is a wrestling show, not only WWE, the return of Goldberg. He returned at, I don't know what indie wrestling, but he returned spearing Scott Steiner. I'm sure we'll have more info on that as the weeks come because there was nothing really leaked about it except return. I'm super excited. I would like to hear your opinion and your thumbs down.
I don't really know much about the Goldberg thing because, like I said, we didn't talk about this. The Chris Hero thing is just something great. With the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge taking the internet and just social media in general by storm earlier this year and last summer, it's just really great to see that it can transcend, issues that are going on, here, overseas, and just unite people to end the disease that is, it's just a nasty disease. It's something that, as a sports fan, I've had to see Steve Gleason go through it, and it's just a shame. Great job by Hero. I can't wait to see what else he does, and I really don't think we've heard the last of him from a charitable perspective. My thumbs down, and this is something that I'm probably not alone on. Luke and Eric, Harper and Rowan, of course, the former members of the Wyatt family, using the 3D twice. For those of you who don't know, the 3D was a move made by the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon, who were one of the original 3 hardcore tag teams in the WWE. The two of them, the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, they put on some of the best tag team matches you'll ever see. In many cases, the best tag team matches you'll ever see. WWE Creative had Rowan and Harper use the 3D twice this past week on Raw, and it was just a move that completely threw me off guard, and it was completely disrespectful. It was something that just was unnecessary, and the fact that Bubba Ray responds to it and calls him out for it, I'm so happy he did, because someone has to. This is enough. This is something that you cannot do. You are destroying your own legacy here by destroying theirs, and theirs can't be destroyed. They're one of the best tag teams of all time. Anyone disagrees with that, you can talk to me. I will school you on it. I will call you out if you don't think so. This team has won every tag team title imaginable. They've been in every type of tag team match imaginable. And this is ridiculous. You can't buy 2 big men, Rowan and Harper, doing this. Harper can do things that no big man should be able to do. Rowan cannot. Change it. We're going to move on. I'm going to get really mad if we keep talking about this.
Yeah, because this is a subject I think we've spoken 20 minutes on, and it's just a disrespectful thing.
If you call me yelling for 20 minutes talking, then by all means do it. Yeah. Let me put it like this. If I actually recorded what we were doing for those 20 minutes, we'd be canceled for sure. Most of the time I'm joking about that. I would have actually been serious if we recorded it, but we didn't. So we're going to move on to our predictions. I can't speak. I'm so upset right now. For Elimination Chamber, which was a few weeks ago, once again, we're going forward to Money in the Bank. I am so mad about that 3D thing.
Last week.
I am so mad about that 3D thing that I am not even thinking straight. Okay, here we go. Our pre-show match is going to be R-Truth versus Bad News Barrett. And now that we're going towards a more positive thing, this is going to make me feel so much better. This past Monday on Raw. So R-Truth comes out when Roman Reigns, Dolph Ziggler, and Kane are talking about Money in the Bank and all that. R-Truth comes out and says, at WrestleMania, I conquered my fear of heights and ladders. I'm going to win the match. And the case. To which Kane responds, you're not even in the match. And the look on Truth's face, and then the recurring look on Ziggler's face. I don't know if this was planned or not, but it's hilarious. Because he had not a face, he had the face. It was just so funny. And I feel so much better now. It's one of those things that I shouldn't find funny, because it's more of a botch than it is, planned, if that is the case. It's hilarious to me. Anthony, we're going to go back on topic for the match in a few seconds, but what did you think about that particular segment?
I wish, and I really wish that some way, somehow, someday, I could find out if that was a legitimate botch, or if it was scripted. Okay, Truth, just go out there, pretend you're in the Money in the Bank, and then come back inside. Kane will, he'll find something to say. Don't worry about it. Improvise. I really hope that was a legitimate botch that Truth really for some reason thought he was in the match, which I'm starting to think more and more that it was scripted. But I cannot tell you that Raw, or at that moment, I haven't had a bigger laugh in a while. And the reaction on Ziggler, Kane, and Reigns,
I think that's what made it. It's just everyone, not just one person, everybody, even Truth was like, what?
I feel like they maybe gave Truth the microphone and they're like, okay, go out there, say something, you have 3 minutes. And it was honestly well worth it. It was so funny, which probably the reason why Truth is on the pre-show, because they had to find a way to throw him into the card.
Alright, so I'm going to say that Bad News Barrett does win this. Going to a more wrestling-esque tone, he's been on a semi-downswing, if this is applicable, because he did recently win the King of the Ring match. He was just recently in the Intercontinental Elimination Chamber match. But, Truth was also, but this match really doesn't have any backstory to me. I feel like this is just a way to, keep both of them in a way in the minds of the WWE Universe. I'm going to say Bad News Barrett here. It's just, it's more assumption than logic as far as my decision making. It's just, it wouldn't make sense for me for R-Truth to win against someone who doesn't have a title and someone who is a King of the Ring winner, especially when the King of the Ring winner is the one who should be getting the push.
I agree completely. I think R-Truth has 3 wins over Barrett in the last month.
He eliminated him from the Elimination Chamber, did he not?
I believe he was actually the first person in the Elimination Chamber to get eliminated. This is after Barrett was dominating for a good fraction of the match, and then it just turned out like it was like, I think, a Ziggler super kick. Someone did something else, and then Truth hit the lie detector to eliminate Bad News Barrett. Thus, going back to my predictions, I don't see Barrett losing. He's already taken a beating from losing at the IC Chamber, which I didn't think he was going to win in the first place. Thus, why they gave him the King of the Ring. He's been losing often to R-Truth. R-Truth has gotten his moment in the Elimination Chamber. Like I said, I thought Truth was going to be the first one to get eliminated. The fact he eliminated someone shocked me.
Wasn't he one of the final... Well, not final 3, final 4, right? Because... No, that's not right. He was eliminated second by Henry?
I think he might have been eliminated second by Henry. I would have to rewatch. We're gonna elimination order. To me, the final 2 is what really matters.
All right. So you're gonna say Barrett?
I'm gonna have to stick with Bad News Barrett beating R-Truth and continuing his King Barrett reign.
All right. So that's our pre-show, and for those who don't know and who are new, we do this thing where we call it pay-per-view wars. Basically, we have our prediction shows, just like this one and our previous one. And whoever gets the most right, they get a notch. Anthony beat me with the Elimination Chamber show. He got, I think it was just a 1-match differential. And, so, he's up 1-0. I'm looking to come back in this. He's looking to make his lead bigger, 2-0. And we're going to get to the main card now. Now, WWE.com has done a really bad job here of not organizing the matches, because here's the way they have the matches listed. They have John Cena, Kevin Owens, Money in the Bank ladder match, Rollins vs. Ambrose for the WWE World Heavyweight title, Ryback vs. Big Show for the Intercontinental title, Nikki Bella vs. Paige for the Divas Championship, and the New Day vs. Primetime Players for the Tag Team Championships, which is definitely not the order they're going to do things in. It actually may be the complete opposite. A few flip-flops. We're going to work away from the bottom up here. So, New Day versus Primetime Players for the Tag Team Championships. Now, for those who don't know, Kofi Kingston is in the Money in the Bank ladder match, so I think it's safe to say that this will be Xavier Woods and Big E taking on the Primetime Players. Whether Kofi will be out there ringside or not remains to be seen, depending on when both matches happen. I tend to think that, for the sake of the gimmick, he will be out there, and this match will happen before the Money in the Bank ladder match, because I also think New Day is going to interfere at some point in that, or try to at least. The Primetime Players, though, we did talk about this earlier, and I was trying to find a reason to believe the Primetime Players would win the championships, because they've been getting a decent push. It's not like they're getting anything new added to their gimmick. It's just, I really like what they're doing, and the fans are starting to really react to them. But you put me back in my place by saying New Day is really starting to get over. Their gimmick is really starting to, gain traction, which we talked about a little bit on our last show, which you can find at the Sports Vision. Go to sportsvision.co, which you're on right now. Click Feed WWE SV Squared Circle Episode 2, and you can watch Episode 1 while you're at it. And just figure out what we've been talking about, the trend of the show. You can give us a like, look at some other things on there. But back to the topic. It's very hard for me to believe that they'll end the New Day gimmick with a loss just because you have one of your 3 stablemates in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Unless, that foreshadows something, which I don't think will be the case. I think that New Day, unfortunately for me, because I still believe it's the gimmick, not the 3 members of the team in the gimmick that are making this thing run, I believe that New Day will win through underhanded tactics. And, You know, if they win clean, it's one thing, but it just doesn't fit their gimmick right now. Which is why I do believe it'll be before the Money in the Bank ladder match, because they need all 3 members to pull off the underhanded tactics that they orchestrate. What do you think?
I want to add that PTP primetime players.
Hoorah, hoorah,
hoorah! I can't do it.
I pretty much butchered it too, so I'm there.
PTPs are one of my more loved tag teams in the current era. Why? Not because of their in-ring skills, more because they bring that comedy factor. Every person in WWE, they fit a perfect heel, they fit a perfect face, they can make you laugh. I find PTP falls in the category of making the audience laugh and being the very entertainment part in the WWE. But the problem is, right now, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil are still, in my opinion, developing. They're a very good team. Problem is, New Day is so fresh. They're doing so well by being hated, and that's what WWE needs to do. They need to continue this New Day gimmick. Heck, I open the TV, I see New Day, I feel like closing it, but I continue watching it because they're so good at what they do.
You open the TV.
I open the TV.
You open the TV. Okay, we're going with that.
We're
going with that. We're going to open the TV. I'm going to probably break mine. So you're saying New Day?
I'm going to say, yeah, New Day retains.
Okay.
Whether Kofi's at ringside or not, depending the order of this match, it doesn't really matter to me. I still find New Day will be the winners of this match due to cheating or whatever, but they'll win.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to pick primetime players as much as I want to, but we'll move on. Our next match is something we saw at the last pay-per-view. It's Nikki Bella versus Paige for the Divas Championship. Now, there is a key difference here. Nikki Bella is a heel now, and so is Brie Bella. At Elimination Chamber, no one was allowed at ringside. I don't think that's going to be the case here, because the way that they turned heel was doing the twin switcheroo, which was done terribly, by the way. But I digress from that. With them changing the gimmick of Nikki Bella from being, I've worked so hard, I've gotten here, to literally making that into, I'm going to do push-ups in the ring for no reason, hit you with a rack attack and win, and obligatory Brie Bella appearance somewhere in there. It waters down what she's done to me, honestly. We both think of the Divas division as something that needs that extra oomph. They lost when AJ Lee left. Paige is going to be that missing piece, because she's just simply too good to not be that piece. The problem is, it's not going to start here, because they're still letting Nikki Bella, the heel turn has to come full circle. What I mean by that is, she started out her reign as a heel. They transitioned her to a face without really doing it, and I guess when she was at her top as a face, they moved her back to a heel, because she was only a face for one match. I really think that was against Naomi. Well, not really against just Naomi, against Naomi and Tamina. I should gong for Tamina, but I'm not going to. It's just hard for me to really see Paige winning this, not because of Paige, but because of the gimmick that Nikki has. As I said before, Nikki Bella wins, and I wouldn't be shocked if Brie's the one who gets the pinfall, or if they try doing that and Paige catches them, just enough time for Nikki to hit the rack attack. What do you think?
I'm a big Paige supporter.
As am I.
Unfortunately, well, I'm going to start off with I don't really care much for the Diva match. I mean, it's been Paige versus Nikki, Paige versus Nikki versus Naomi. And now I remember seeing somewhere that on the card of July 4th at the Tokyo special, it'll be once again Nikki versus Paige versus Naomi. So this is
I
really
didn't
dragging.
even know that. This
is really just dragging. So I'm just gonna say that the match is gonna go down of something in the lines of Brie is gonna try and do the whole switcheroo of the twin magic. Referee's gonna catch her, or Paige is gonna catch her. She's gonna be exiled from the match, and
I love you said exiled. It's so over the top. It's like, you are exiled from the match.
I want to throw it.
You are exiled.
She's gonna be kicked out. There you go. of the match, and then we're just gonna see a rack attack, and it's just gonna be there and then. There you go. Nikki Bella retains.
All right, so that's pretty much all we have to say about this.
Very, very, very simple. Nothing too.
Nothing over the
technical.
Top. Ryback versus Big Show for the Intercontinental title is up next, and this is very similar to the match we just finished talking about. Not because of the backstory, but because of the fact that there is no backstory. You know, Big Show returns, basically knocks the Miz out, so he doesn't get his title opportunity, which came out of nowhere, to be honest. But I don't think any of us minded Miz getting KO'd. But there's no reason for me to believe that Big Show is even going to get close to winning this match. I think this is going to be a Ryback, feed me more, dominating performance. And they're literally feeding Big Show to him to really show off how strong he is. He did shell-shock the Big Show in the ring on Monday night. So I can't see them, giving someone else the title after Ryback wins it and what he's been through.
I feel the shell shock was shown to show that Ryback has the power.
So the fans were behind him. The fans were going crazy, and that's one thing I really do enjoy now. After the horrible, horrible fan base that is Corpus Christi, Texas, we finally get some fans that cheer and boo and do everything in the middle and don't just sit there with their hands underneath their chairs.
Exactly.
This is, how fans react. Fans love Ryback. Fans love guys like Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan. Some like John Cena, some don't. It's great to get a reaction like Ryback got on Monday Night Raw. And, I think they're going to ride that momentum for a long time.
Also, going back to that match, I want to say this very clearly. I'm sorry if there's any Ryback fans, Big Show fans. If Ryback did not, and I quote, did not have that Intercontinental title around his waist, that match would be the pre-show.
Of course.
I am not interested in Ryback versus Big Show. This feud, just like I feel, this is why I mentioned I did not like 3 WWE pay-per-views in 1 month. This feud has no build-up. It's just Miz got KO'd, Big Show says he should be the champion, Ryback accepted, boom, we have a match. There's no way Big Show's winning this. His time has definitely passed. Ryback is clearly gonna win this match. If it's gonna be a domination, I don't know. It's definitely gonna be Ryback coming out on top.
Agreed. So we were pretty much in agreement for the first 3 matches here. The next match here is going to be something
of the pay-per-view.
I know. I think this is the match that's going to do it for us. John Cena and Kevin Owens 2. John Cena losing to Kevin Owens in a match of the year. Not just candid. I think this is going to be the match of the year, no matter what happens. And if, like I said in our previous show, I should say, if this isn't the match of the year, I don't want to know what's going to be the match of the year because I don't want to be. I don't want to have the surprise ruined, is what I'm trying to say. I can't see Kevin Owens losing here. The fact that he debuted and beat the face of your company, who's been the face for the last 10 years, in the way that he did it, it wasn't, like when Sheamus beat Cena in a tables match, where Cena went through a table. This is a match where they both put a lot out there on display, and Owens did some stuff that not only had Cena not seen, a lot of the people in the back had to have watched. I guarantee you everybody in the back was watching this match and just watched in awe at what Owens could do. That being said, that gets killed if he loses. If he loses Sunday, everything they built up in that one match, in that debut unlike any other one we'll ever see, would be gone. That's why I just can't see. Here's what I think is going to happen. With Battleground being a month away, I think Owens wins this. I think it's similar to how the last match ended. He may even end it with an attitude adjustment, just for that extra emphasis, but I think it's just going to be a pop-up powerbomb. With more time to develop the rivalry, you can honestly say, Cena, Owens, U.S. title, Battleground. Because you have a month to really build that up. Owens will be on the main roster for a little bit longer. And you could really believe that, Owens has every reason to win that match. Whether he wins or loses that match is would remain to be seen. But I can't see Owens losing 2 weeks after beating the face of your company in his debut match. It just wouldn't be great for the character. Wouldn't make any sense. What do you think about this? Keep in mind, everybody, he's a Cena. He does not like Cena. He does not. Not that he hates him as a person, because no one can, because the guy is just such a great person. He doesn't like him in the ring.
Cena versus Owens 2. What I could say about this match is I am so excited to see it. If it's anything like Cena versus Owens 1...
If it's half of that...
you're going to hear your doorbell ring, and it's going to be me. It's going to be me marking out.
I'm just going to jump through my monitor and probably break it, but, I like your idea better.
Cena versus Owens 2, I'm going to have to go, and it hurts me. Like, it's hard for me to even say it.
I'm going to love this. I'm going to love it.
I'm going to have to say the winner of the match by either disqualification, count out, or something.
Get to the good part.
Is going to be John Cena.
Oh my god, gong time. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm a winner no matter what. If I win this match, I win this match, and I probably win the entire pay-per-view. If I lose this match, he has to deal with the fact that he chose John Cena and that he won against a Montreal native, Kevin Owens.
Actually, he's from Maryville, but it's about an hour away.
Oh, my bad. I don't know Canadian geography.
It's all good.
I like Canadian bacon. That's good enough.
That's very good enough.
Sliced ham.
I look at wrestling, and I always see, when I hear feuds, I always think of best out of 3. It's really hard for me to swallow the fact that Owens, as much as I love him, that Owens is going to beat Cena 2 in a row. I feel like it should be... I've said it from the start. Owens was going to beat Cena at Owens versus Cena 1.
At Owens versus Cena 1. At the
Owens versus
Chamber.
Cena 1. Now with Owens versus Cena 2... This really caught me by surprise. I didn't think they were going to go for a second match. When it was announced that night, I think I told you right away, I'm like, hey, Cena has to win. Cena has to win the second one because we need Owens versus Cena 3 at Battleground in a U.S. title match.
But that doesn't have to be the case. You don't need one thing to happen to have the other thing happen. You could really have this match either way. I think it means more if Cena loses because his back is against the wall and he has no choice. There's only one thing that would keep Owens interested in him, and that's the U.S. title. If Cena wins, what's Owens' motivation? He goes, I beat you the first time, and if he wins by disqualification, don't worry, I already beat you. I beat you by pinfall. You couldn't even get me. Your veteran instincts, blah, 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 blah. I just think that Owens... I think he needs this match almost as much as he needs the first match. It needs to validate his great performance, and if there's one thing WWE hasn't done with this feud, it's the norm. Think about it. They put a new guy up against the face of their company, and he beat him in his first match on the main roster in a pay-per-view. In a pay-per-view that had the match of the year in this match itself. Clean. He had him use the AA, he went for the 5-knuckle shuffle. They did things that, Cena would never be able to do with other people. And it was special. But on top of that, they chose Owens. This is finally the person Cena's going to put over. And if they stop now, that's all gone.
It is true. I'm still, regardless, locking in with John Cena.
Which is still hilarious, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on from that.
You'll never see me say that.
He just did, so I guess I did see him say it. And our final 2 matches here. We're going to talk about Rollins versus Ambrose ladder match for the title first. For those who are confused, because Anthony led you all on last week, Rollins is still the champion. Ambrose has the belt. And, well, we'll see on SmackDown how that plays out, because I did not finish SmackDown, but I believe that he leaves the belt in the ring? Is that right, Anthony?
I didn't catch that last part.
Did he leave the belt in the ring, pretty much, at the end of SmackDown?
What I saw from SmackDown was, I didn't catch all of it, because it does play a day earlier in Canada. Ambrose gave Rollins a fake title, which wasn't actually the real WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And Ambrose told Rollins that the real WWE World Heavyweight Championship is still in New Orleans. So Ambrose still has that title, and I said it from the beginning. They were gonna make Ambrose win somehow. I know I said Rollins was gonna win as my prediction, but I did always mention that I feel like if they did make Ambrose the winner at Elimination Chamber, it's to tease how the fans would like and how the fans would accept Ambrose as champion as a 2 weeks type of thing.
And so far, it's been pretty successful. I mean, so I guess what we're getting at is that he still has the title. It'll be up on a ladder, or up like on the whatever it is that they're holding it by on Sunday. But there's no reason to believe that Rollins is going to lose this match, except for the fact that Rollins and the Authority have had a ripple the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, he basically says when he doesn't have his title, and Reigns comes out on behalf of Ambrose, gives him the ladder match challenge. Stephanie was about to say no. Rollins says, no, I'm taking this match. I don't need J&J security. I don't need that 7-foot piece of crap in Kane. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. And Triple H and Stephanie McMahon looked at each other and were just taken back a little bit. Fast forward to next week, which is this past week, and we get Rollins going up to them and saying, what are you going to do? How are you going to help me in this match? We're not going to help you. You said you can take it on your own, and you're going to do it. In fact, we're also going to let you choose your opponent tonight. And that leads to him losing to J&J security. But it does go to show that they're doing something there. There is something there. I don't think it's enough to have Rollins lose. I think that he wins, and he uses this to say, I'm on my own. I don't need you. And then we'll talk about where I think that leads later on in another show. I think Rollins wins this. I think it's going to be a very good match. I don't think there's any outside interference, by the way. I don't think there's any outside interference.
I don't think there's going to be outside interference. I do, however, see Seth Rollins winning, which I do want to add, because I have a feeling you're not aware of this, but Dean Ambrose hijacked Good Morning Acadiana in Louisiana. I don't really know how to pronounce it. He hijacked a show.
To everyone who watches our show who is in Louisiana, I apologize for whatever my co-host just said.
I'm really sorry, but it looks like I'm reading over here that Dean Ambrose hijacked the Good Morning show for them. And he turned it around he made himself the host and started asking Steven Albritton all the questions instead of being the other way around, which actually makes it really funny, and it also shows that WWE has faith in Ambrose to make him do all these talk show hosts. But without a doubt, I'm going to have to say it's going to be an insane match, but Rollins is going to walk away with the WWE World Heavyweight title finally.
And it's finally is a very fitting word for two reasons. One, we are, 3 months into, we're into the third month of Rollins being champion, and, there's not really that hype behind him anymore, but there's not really anyone saying this doesn't feel right, because I think he's proven that he can carry it, he can do well with it. I do think, however, that it's time that we really just get some new blood in there. I would say not tonight, not elimination. Not I'm about to say Elimination Chamber again. Not
Please don't.
I'm not going to. Not Money in the Bank. We should make a show based on how many botches I do in a show. Enough blooper reel. Enough blooper. That's another one. But it's just, you have Ambrose, you have Reigns, you have Rollins, you have Ziggler, you have Cena, you have a good core group of guys, but it's not really anyone else's time right now to supersede Rollins, and by that I mean if anyone else wins the title right now, it doesn't do anything. I think we need to wait a little bit longer. So we both say Rollins. The last match is the Money in the Bank match, and I actually kind of wish we didn't leave this for last because I don't see how this can be an enjoyable match. Look, the Money in the Bank ladder match itself has been one of my favorite matches to watch for a very long time. I loved it when there were two titles, you got two matches, and you got two separate pushes from different perspectives. And now it's just a cluster of, all these guys. You have your high flyer, You have a guy who always entertains. You have the guy who you know is just there to play the heel role. You have the fan favorite. You have the one you think is going to win, and you throw in a few others. You know, I'm not going to place names with those labels, but you can pretty much do it yourself. I think that Roman Reigns wins this, and the only thing I do add to that is I want to be wrong here. I want someone else to win it. If Neville does win this somehow, it doesn't make any sense to me. I would be shocked, and I'd be very proud of WWE. What do you think about this, Anthony? I'm going with Reigns just to make sure that no one else gets me misconstrued.
Well, first things first, you said you didn't catch SmackDown, so I will tell you that SmackDown does end with all the participants of the Money in the Bank ladder match, all like, you know, kind of how it ends, but before every pay-per-view, all the participants are attacking each other. But this time, it ended with Adrian Neville down on top, actually climbing the ladder, retrieving the briefcase, and placing it in the center of the ring, leaving a large statement.
Wow, that's wow.
That's a wow.
Yeah.
That right there makes me have faith in WWE. When I think of Money in the Bank, you said it's your favorite pay-per-view.
It used to be no, not my favorite pay-per-view. The match itself used to be one of my favorite matches because they put effort into it, and this is. I feel like they chose their winner and then they put everybody else in. That's just how I feel.
So I do apologize on saying that. Money in the Bank. What I love about Money in the Bank for me is it's a restart button. When I look at Money in the Bank, it's a restart into a storyline. It's like, let's just say Adrian Neville would win. That means somewhere down the line, Adrian Neville would be cashing in, and then boom, he now becomes the main storyline. My prediction is Roman Reigns is going to win this, which the problem is here, if Roman does win, and somewhere down the line, my gut says it's going to be Roman Reigns, which is a shame because it just looks way too obvious.
So the way that this entire pay-per-view looks, we disagree on one match, and it's one of the matches that it's sort of up in the air unless, you know, they actually go by the book. Until next time, make sure you follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you disliked it, tell us what you think we could do better. Once again, just thank you so much for all the support you've been giving us. We are 3 weeks in, but at the same time, it feels like we've been doing this much longer. Until next time, I'm Jeremy Cook.
I'm Anthony Mosca.
And enjoy Dark Days as we tune out and enjoy your weekend.